Hi everybody, good day to you. Over there we got ourselves a 2015 Ford F350 King Ranch. It is here for an inspection, and it definitely needs fuel filters. I think it's coming up on 30 thou, and the owner has never replaced them. So we're gonna do the fuel filters first, take a look around, make sure it doesn't need anything else, and then go from there. So stay tuned. This is gonna be a very good video. Starting the engine. I believe this is a 6.7 diesel, turbine powered. And it is. What do we got here? 34,563 miles on the clock. Nice. Moving on in. I've got to pull this onto my smaller stall because my truck is on my larger rack today because I tinker. Clearing the fence, good to go. Now the Motorcraft fuel filter kit comes with the actual fuel filter, and then there's a fuel water separator filter, and I believe that is located down below on the frame rail. Some of these Fords have them in various different positions, but I think this one is like right under the driver and then a little bit farther back. But we'll go down there later and see. Windows down so the car doesn't lock me out. Powering down. Release the bonnet. Let's see what we got down here. Shiny Ford. 6.7 turbine powered diesel. That unit right there is our fuel filter. So it has its feed line, and then it's got a return, I think that's a return back to the tank, and also a return from the injectors. See, these diesel injectors can get quite hot due to the pressures and their location in the engine. So they've got a fuel line connected to them that returns fuel to the tank, and it actually uses its fuel as a coolant. I think that's pretty fancy. Now this is a different clip. You squeeze two sides of it, and again that should pop out of there. If it doesn't, I've brought my Snap-on miniature pry bar. I will force it. Nope, no, we're good. So once we're disconnected, try not to break the little nipple off this. I've done it. It's unfortunate. You just give it a twist, and we pop this unit right on out. There we go, one filter. Gone. Hey, you know what might be fun? Since this is this truck's first fuel filter change, let's take this oil filter device and cut it open. This is designed to cut open oil filters for inspection. If it works on metal filters, I imagine it'll work on a plastic fuel filter. Let's give it a shot. See what's inside. You know, for science. All right, we've got this little nipple thing right here, this little tab that's designed to secure this to its bracket in the truck. So let's chop that off. Let's see if this thing's gonna work on a fuel filter or not. Maybe. Maybe. It's right on, the rollers are right here on the edge of where that taper is. This actually could be kind of difficult. Chop that off a little bit more. Sure. Alright, it's either gonna work or it's not. Let's give it a shot. Tighten this thing in. Just kind of rotate it. Negative. Now, I have a Sawzall here. I will win this fight. Maybe I don't need to go to that length. I don't want to use a Sawzall because it could potentially contaminate the filter. Wow, this stuff's flying off here at like the speed of light. Snip. That's why I'm wearing glasses. Protect the eyeballs. Ding. Got a text message. Who is it? I'm trimming this off so it fits better inside of the tool. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but it's worth a shot. This better work because now I'm invested. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. That's just what we needed. It's working, kind of. It works till it slips, and then it's done working. Yeah, if I hold down on it, it stays in position a little better. This is gonna work. Yeah, now we're cooking. give it a little twist here. That tightens up the cutter head. And around we go. By the way, I've already drained this thing out, so it shouldn't spill a bunch of fuel on my box here, but if it does, that's fine. Okay, we're through. We're starting to spill some fuel out of it. Still getting the slipping thing. Bear with me while I get this apart, and then we'll take a peek at the element inside and see if it's dirty or if it's not. Yeah, we're in. Mostly. It's like halfway cut open. Okay, we're in mostly. That's enough for me. There we go. There's our unit, sort of. Need to break into it a little bit harder. I couldn't get around this section over here. The thing kept slipping quite violently. So I will just match its energy. But the point is I didn't get a bunch of shavings and stuff in here. Aha. Let's see what we got. Not bad. No metal or debris in the pleats. They're not black. They are darkened, which is what we'd expect out of 30,000. So we're changing this right on time. Beautiful. Okie dokes, headed back to the truck. Got the new unit in hand. The installation is the reverse of what we just did. We stick it in there. It clips down, we rotate it clockwise to seat it. Now it's hooked in and we just reattach our fuel lines. Kicks. And one more right here. Careful not to kink that one. It's easy. And once you kink it, it is compromised and then you must replace it. That would be bad. Okay, let's prime it. I know we're doing 2 filters, but I like to re-prime and then restart after the first one. Fortunately, this truck has a lift pump, so we just key it on. I do it like 3 times. Key it off, key it on. Number 3, and starting the engine. Alright, check the leaks, especially on the return side. We have none. The side's good to go. Let's shut it down and do the fuel water separator down below. Forward powering down. Let's see here, I'm gonna need a drain bucket. You nasty. Drain bucket can. Okay, so here's our lift pump right here, and that contains the other filter element. So first thing we need to do is disconnect the sensors, and we'll just tuck that up there out of the way. You don't have to open these to drain them, but I choose to if I can get it. No, I can't. Perhaps if I make it a 2-thumbed operation. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Alright, we'll let that just drain out for a minute. It's important to not have the key on, otherwise the lift pump will be on and then it'll pressurize fuel back at you, and that's not good. There, you guys stay here and watch this. I'm gonna go and fetch the tool to remove this this cap right here. I think that's the one. Close enough. Let's get onto that guy with a little ratchet. Actually a big ratchet. It's a big socket. Reverse clickages. Give it a turn, and the whole housing is going to turn. Well, the cap on it. Half of the whole housing. There we go. If the whole housing turns, then it will break, and then that would be bad. It does require a decent bit of force, though, to break it loose. But I got it. Here, let's shut this off so we're done dripping on me. It's enough. Come on. Begin spilling diesel on us now. If this was an oil change, guaranteed we'd already have oil on everything. That is the way. Alright, it's free of the threads, and there's a mosquito on my ankle. Ah! Die! That one's pretty clean looking. Check that out. It's nice. Good. It's good to keep up on maintenance. Better to do it before it's needed than to need to do it and have a problem. I need that O-ring. Alright, O-ring, you're coming with me. This is one of those things that a lot of people skip, and they should not. The new filter comes with it for a reason, therefore we should be replacing it. Come out. There. Nice. Alright, old O-ring, new O-ring. Just use some of the fuel that's on me to lubricate it. Put that guy back up where it goes. I can still see some of the factory O-ring lube that's in there. It's good. And follow it around, make sure it's in its land. If it's not, then it'll leak like a sieve. Okay, another thing to do. Old filter out and dump it. Get all that old fuel out of the cap, just in case there's sediment at the bottom. Take note of the condition of our old one. And here's our new one, nice and more shiny. Set this guy up in the cap. Careful not to touch the pleats. We don't want to contaminate it. And we just screw it back on. It's got to land in the same position where it started, or at least very, very close, because we have to run the wire to that sensor. I still think that mosquito's biting me. I'm feeling extra pain on my ankle. And I can't scratch it because I'm covered in diesel. Right there. It stopped and click. Good. We'll plug this guy back in. Make sure that thing is tight. There. Alright. Die, mosquito! Got him. Oh, we also can clearly see all this diesel fuel right here. Can't have that. Let's clean that off. Make it nice and shiny. Nada! Alright, no more screwing around. Let's get out of here. Reprime this thing, start it back up, make sure we're good to go. Okay, one more time. Yes, I washed my hands, I'm not covered in fuel. We'll key it on a few times. 3 is good. And then we will restart the engine. And this time we're going to let it run for a little while, that way it can continue to circulate fuel. I'm aware that was 4 times, by the way. But we'll let it run. It can circulate fuel through the system, and if there's any air involved, it'll go ahead and purge that out before the injectors get a piece of it. So far, so good. Let us take a peek down below for any leaks. We have none. Let's fetch the flashlight. Looking good. You know what? I have my Silverado here, and it also needs a fuel filter. Let's go ahead and do that one since this video is kind of short. Yeah, we'll make this a dual truck feature. Twice the diesels, twice the cylinders, twice the Poppeningsy hoods, and twice the fuel filters. Actually, this one's thrice the fuel filters because we did 2 on that side. There we go. Oh, now this one's a little bit different. There's only 1 filter on this engine, and it is located right down there. See that little blue thing? That is the fuel filter for a Duramax. Now this one is slightly different. and it's slightly more difficult. That's our fuel water separator detector. This one we're supposed to remove the inner fender well. I don't like to do that, so I'm just gonna try to winch on it by hand. No, I can't do that. You know what? Let's just go ahead and pull the airbox out of this and give me some more reaching space. I just want to take a quick break to introduce today's sponsor, me. I just want to give a quick shout out to Diesel Tech Chris. He joined us on A-Rod's live stream last Wednesday at Powerstroke Tech Talk with A-Rod. He's coming over from TikTok land, and we want to give him a warm YouTube welcome. I will leave a link to Chris's first video here on YouTube. You can find it at the very end screen of this video, and I'll also leave another one up above.
Diesel Tech Chris here, guys. I got one for you. Come take a look. Crankshaft seal on a 6.7 liter Powerstroke. Here's our old one. Next, you're gonna get your remover tool. Now, you guys can do this however your mother tells you to do it. Don't forget this, or you'll be off that you have to re-pull the transmission out just for that.
Plus there's a lot of bolts and a bunch of clips, and I just find it to be an annoyance. For me, that's just me. Some people don't mind. Pop this guy off here. Come off. Okay. There we go. Quick and clean in there. All right, now I have a little bit more access to this. I can probably put some oil filter pliers on that and take it loose. So this is it's either gonna work or I'm wasting my time. I think I've removed this way before. I really don't remember. I might have to reach the fender well anyway, just to get a hold of this thing. Let's make it bigger. Now there is a sensor at the bottom of this, and what we don't want to do is get a hold of that sensor wire with our pliers. So that'll damage it, and that would be bad. Get it right here like this. There we go, got a turn out of it. That should be enough. Come on out, AC Delco fuel filter. There we go. Hey, you guys want to see me waste $5? Gone. So this component here, that is the sensor for water in fuel, and I need to replace that or remove that because it gets reused. And yes, there is a wrench for these, and no, I don't have one. I've been meaning to buy one forever, but I just don't. I've become unclicked. There we go. I've managed success with just some frustrated pliers or channel locks. Last time I did this, someone got so mad at me because I unthreaded the thing and I picked it up like this by the wire. And they're like, you were damaging the sensor. I didn't think I was. Okay, off to the bench. We'll get this installed in the new filter and then the new filter installed on the old truck. You know, for as much time as we're spending here, I should probably clean this again. There. Now it's clean. Okay, here's our new filter. It's an AC Delco. Part number 19431514. Not from Amazon. I bought some of these from Amazon once, and it turns out they were counterfeit, and I was very sad. I don't believe I've purchased an Amazon car part since. Anyway, there's two O-rings in here. One for the sensor, and then one for the seal. on the filter housing. Pop that guy off. I probably could have left this old one on here. It was okay, but whatever. We got a new one. Here, you know what? It's not much fuel. I'll just take a dab of this dielectric just to lube the face of this so it doesn't generate a ton of friction when it's threaded on. Wipe down the threads and thread it on. And no, I'm not going to pre-fill it. That introduces contaminants. Okay. And I don't want to do that. But what I will do is prime it. It's got a manual prime button. Let's see, I'm trying to see if this is symmetrical, and it appears that it is. It's not actually an O-ring, it's more like a triangle ring. You see the edges on it? I'm not sure what it's actually called, but it is definitely not an O-ring. It's kind of an O-ring, but they're usually circular in shape. Come here, dielectric. There we go. And again, a little bit of grease on this. That'll reduce its friction when I tighten it down. And there is another seal right here on the inside. And that actually should be lubricated with fuel that is still on the mating surface inside of the mounting block. There we go. So the Ford's still running. It did not stall, which tells me that all the air has been purged. Let's go back over here to the Duramax and get this guy installed, and I'll show you how to purge the air out of this system. First things first, what we're not going to do is go in there and start this engine. And it will run. It'll run until the fuel that is in the lift pump and in the injectors and the injector rail runs out. And then once that happens, it stalls, and you still have to purge the air out of it. But then you've run your pump dry. And that's just not what we're looking for here. Oh, also, be cautious with these Duramax filter mounts. Sometimes they sit for a very, very long time, and the O-ring that's inside of the plunger here, which is designed to purge it, will get cracked, and then once you purge it, it'll begin leaking. Or it'll begin leaking later, and it'll leave you on the side of the road because it starts sucking in air, in which case it's not pulling in fuel. And then you stall, and it's no longer working. There's a click. Okay, so what we're going to do, actually quite simple. We're going to crack this valve open right here. Bigger screwdriver. Or we can use a 13 wrench. And we're just going to crack that little bleeder open. We're going to run down here with our hand. We're just going to pump this primer. It's going to take a little while. And we're going to pump this until it starts to give us some fuel. Okay, there's some air. I think you can leave this open, but I like to close it. Give it a few pumps, crack it open. You hear the air. Close it again. Pumps, pump, pump. And what it's doing right now is drawing in fuel from the tank, and it's filling up this filter in the housing. I can tell that there's fuel on that O-ring now. It's pumping a little easier than it was. And we're going to do this until we get fuel coming out of this valve right here. We're almost there. There's some fuel, got it. So we got our fuel spewage. Close the valve, build some pressure. Crack it open again. No air coming out, we're good to go here. Let's go ahead and tighten that bleeder valve down. And then we'll go ahead and start another engine. After I put this intake piping back on, of course. We don't want to fire it up without such piping, otherwise it'll not get a mass airflow reading because it's got a math right here. There we go. Yeah, that's our mass airflow. ECM likes to know how much air is coming in. Let's tighten those down real quick. Okay, clamp click 1 and clamp click numero 2. Zwei auf Deutsch. I think it's zwei. Yeah, zwei auf Deutsch. Click. Does anybody know what click is in German? I'll learn that one. German clickages. All right. Key on, starting the Duramax. Aha! It lives. All right, well that's one diesel done. Actually, no, that's 2 diesels done. 1 diesel done is over there. Okay, so this one's good to go. I'm no longer concerned about any air being in this thing's system. I'm gonna repeat the same procedure with that one, just make sure there's no air in it, and then that one's good to go. So that being said, I think I'm good to go because it's getting a little late and I'm ready to pack up and get out of here. So that being said, as always, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to let me know about that by tapping that like button down below. If you did not enjoy this video, then go to my library and watch a different one and maybe you'll enjoy that video. So again, and as always, thank you for watching, and most importantly, do not forget to have yourselves a great day. See you guys later. End of diesels.